Good day, dear viewers, and welcome to a new episode of Student Life, where we, of course, welcome our guests here to present their journey when it comes into their life, and especially how helpful and how they could, let's say, help students themselves, whether in college, whether in schools, and so on. With us, we'd like to welcome our guests in today's episode, starting with our lecturer holding a master's degree in Master of Education. With us, we'd like to welcome Sarah Said. We're really happy to have you here.
Thank you so much, dear. Thank you.
So, of course, at the beginning, maybe you'd like to tell us more about you, especially talking about choosing your career. What was the reason and the journey about it?
My bachelor degree was in information technology. So once I came to Kuwait, which was 11 years ago, so I was teaching computer courses related to IT, business technology. And then I figured that I'm really passionate about teaching and about learning different teaching styles. So I thought of completing my study in education. So I joined Illinois University and I did my master's in education. My concentration was basically in the new learning and in learning different styles of teaching to help our students and to teach using different styles.
Yes. So, of course, when it comes into that, having your passion and continuing in the educational field is something really great, especially that dealing with students is very challenging, very, of course, difficult, but at the same time, it is very joyful. Tell us about their journey, about that experience and having your students and, of course, elaborating with them.
Honestly, I find myself in the classroom. Like when I'm in the classroom, I feel that's my place. That's where I want to be. I enjoy. Like time passes by really quickly. I love to help them, and I love when I see that they are happy learning, or when they find like something is really hard after I explain it, and then they say, "Oh my God, Miss, like, oh, is it that easy? Thank you so much." Or when I see that they are achieving, or that like they are feeling happy, that's what makes me happy by the end of the day. Just seeing that smile or seeing that face that they are not bored, you know. I teach math courses right now, and you know how much like our students don't like math.
Yes.
And they think that it's a hard subject that they don't like to take, and they try to keep postponing it till their last semester. But like when they come to my class and I see how they are progressing, how they are achieving, how they are enjoying the course, how they are taking notes, how they are passionate about coming, and like that makes me feel happy. That makes me feel like, okay, I'm doing the right thing with them.
Yes.
You know, so
that's really amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day, like what I look back and I feel like, no, I did a good job and I want to learn more, and definitely I will learn more. And yeah. Honestly, just one more thing to add. Box Hill College was the reason for all of this. I learned a lot. Like all the experience I gained was due to that place. I learned a lot from my colleagues, from all the training that they give us. Like, mind you, Box Hill College, to ask all the teachers and all the staff to take training courses in ways of teaching and assessing students. So that helps us. That helps a lot.
It's really amazing to have that great work environment that provides lots for educators themselves, in order even for the lecturers to educate themselves in that matter and always be up to date and develop themselves in the educational system. Now, talking about, let's say, your position, especially you just mentioned that you deal with mathematics. So maybe I'd like to tell the audience more about what do you actually present in college? Like, what are the materials and the subject that you are associated with?
For this semester, I'm teaching math courses. I'm teaching the basic math and I'm teaching statistics. So these two courses basically deals with numbers, which students are not, again, very comfortable in. But my advice for students is always to attend the classes regularly, to review after the class, to make their own notes and not to take the notes of other students, to make their own notes, to practice.
Yes.
Like the more they practice, the more comfortable. And at the end, attending classes regularly, attending and asking. We need to ask. We need to learn that we can always ask, and it's not a shame not to know. You know, because some students do feel shy to ask. They think, oh, maybe that's a very easy question. Maybe they will laugh at me if I ask it. Don't. Believe me, they don't even know. So always ask. It's okay to ask. It's your chance to ask. It's your right to ask. Always ask, because if you are in your class, that's what I always tell them. When you are in class, do not leave the class until you are fully, like, unless you're feeling comfortable with the material. It's your right. That's why we are here.
Yes, indeed. And one of the reasons also I'd like to highlight for the audience, especially the students in college, they always get to feel shy to ask because they feel pressure
That's
among their
true.
colleagues, like,
That's true.
you're asking a lot, we want to end the
That's
session, we
true.
want to leave earlier, and so on. So that's why they end up not asking as much as they want. So we always want to remind you that the class and the time that is set for you is actually prepared for you to ask as much as you want, to get all of the information, of course, you want. Dealing with numbers, to be honest, like, I'm a science student, but I've always find it really difficult when it comes into statistics, because it was like, it dealt with like situations. Dealing with situations and trying to figure it out is for me really difficult than just having, let's say, a regular mathematical equation and trying to
Yeah.
solve it, because you need to use your imagination, you need to use lots of things. Tell us about that. Tell us about the comparison between the two subjects, let's say basic math and statistics, and especially about how students see them.
See, if we're going to talk first about the common thing between both courses, for both courses we are dealing with equations, we are dealing with numbers, and both of them, they do need us to practice. When we talk about as well, like the common things between them, can both be applied in our real life. And that's what we try to do in both courses. When you connect what you are teaching in a class to real life, it makes more sense to our student. Mm-hmm. They find it more applicable. And once you can connect whatever you are teaching in a class to your real life, students feel more comfortable in learning it, because, okay, for them, okay, maybe I will benefit from it somewhere. But when you feel that what you're learning in a class is not related to real life, and that was our problems at school. Like, whatever they used to teach me. For me, I find physics like this. Yes. Because my teacher wasn't able to connect what I'm learning in a class to my real life. Mm-hmm. So if you're able to do that connection, which in math or in statistics, they can both be applied. In statistics, it's a little bit harder, because we don't deal with the statistics in our daily life, you know? Yes. But maybe now, like right now, we have so many examples, like when during COVID period. So we were seeing statistics every day. Right. We're seeing statistics in the number of cases where they're increasing, decreasing, decision-making by the ministries. They were all based on statistics being done. So we try to relate it, and we try to do more projects. We have a portfolio. For statistics, I do a portfolio, which is a real application to what we learn in class to real life. So yeah, that's what makes statistics maybe a little bit harder, because it's hard for students to connect it to their real life. Mm-hmm. But when we do a portfolio, or we try to do a project, which is a project that students submit at the end of the semester, they make more connection to real life, which makes it a little bit easier and more fun for them.
Yes, and that's the most important thing, is to try to connect it to their own life and make it really easier. And in the end, it is a really, let's say, lovable subject if you want to, let's say, accept it. It all lies in the way you see it. Like, if you see it something hard, it is going to be hard. If you find it something easy, it is going to be easy. So it's the way you see things could actually, let's say, loosen it up. Exactly. Now, dealing with students, how challenging do you see students, especially, as you just said, that they leave these subjects until the last course because they're really scared of taking them or feeling a lot of pressure out of it?
See, the first thing I say in my first class, like, I'm like you, I never liked math, I don't like numbers, I didn't like all of these subjects. I know how you see it. Believe me and trust me, by the end of the course, I'll be able to change your vision toward these subjects. Mm-hmm. I'm ready to repeat once, twice, and 3 times. It doesn't matter. I don't have an agenda that I have to work according to. What matters for me, okay, I'm going to put an objective on the board, but I don't mind repeating it. Maybe if I'm going to cover only this subject, I don't mind covering one objective for the whole session, as long as you're comfortable with it before leaving the class. So just like using different learning styles, I use different learning styles. I do one-to-one teaching in addition to the group teaching. So using different learning styles do help students. Like, I'm not going to stand and lecture it doesn't work. That's the old way of teaching. While the teacher stands on the board, she just lectures for the whole time while they're all listening. Yes. It's not the case anymore. We do one-to-one, where I take one student that needs special help and I work with her. Other ways, which is putting them in groups and giving them a common task to finish. The other one is asking someone else to come to the board and explain or try to tell us what did she understand or get. Other ways is using presentations. So we use different learning styles that will make them more engaged, less bored, So it's just like, who's going to finish faster? Who can give me the right answer quicker? Let's see.
Yes.
So using different learning styles do help, and it helps in reaching students as well, because not everyone learn in the same way. We need different attentions, we need different times to process the information.
Yes.
So we do use that
yes.
different.
And that's the most important thing, because at the end, when we're talking about students, we don't have one type of student.
That's
we have
true.
different types.
That's true.
So providing all of the necessary ways of teaching and how to reach, let's say, let the information reach to them is very important as a lecturer. And studying that is also, let's say, challenging. It is really hectic job dealing with students, dealing with all of these, let's say, differences between them. But in the end, it lies within one goal, which is giving them the information and presenting the subject to them. Tell us about the, let's say, students, especially because we've seen so many students really scared when they enter college life to go to their lecturer, ask him questions in their office hours, because they would feel like office hours is for the lecturer to have, let's say, their time to spend it there in the office. We're really eager to go, but at the same time, we're really scared to go. Tell us about that.
Students, just because our number of students is not really big, so we do know them personally. We have that relation with students that we don't see everywhere. I didn't see it at my college because of the big number of students. Yes. But when you have a smaller number of students, you can give attention to every single student. We know them, and we do ask them to come. We encourage them to come. So I don't wait for her to come to my office hour, because I know that she will not come.
Yes.
So usually I do tell her that, please come. I would like to see you. I have a 10 minutes break. Please show up. I can explain it to you. They feel happy to come. They want to have that time with us, but they just need to feel welcome. They want someone to encourage them to come. They want to feel welcomed, and that we are ready to help them, and they are not coming like to annoy or just to take us out. No, we do encourage them to come, and we want them to come, and I do encourage them. That's your right to come. Please do come. Please do ask. It's your chance to learn.
Yes, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
As a message, you said to the audience that if you have a question, you want to learn more, always have that courage to go to your professor and ask them the question, because it is your right. And always remember, it is very important for you to know that they are there for you to present all of the things you want.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was really a pleasure having you here.
You too. Thank you.
And with that, dear viewers, we're going to continue the rest of the episode, so stay tuned with us.
Hi, good morning everyone. Welcome to our college. Today we have a festival. This is an open day for all our students, our graduates, and all small businesses to come and display their businesses, to showcase how a student life is not only about academic life, it's more about practical life. This is why the college's initiatives and all activities are to help and support the students in all their majors, whether they're marketing or their business or their graphic design or interior design, to understand how is establishing a small business, how to market a small business. And this is the practical life of the college. The college is not only academic. So I would like to thank all our students and our alumni who participated in this event. I would like also to ask to thank all the sponsors also that also participated, because this is what makes a good graduate and a good student, is the practical life and doing their own businesses and establish and be the entrepreneurs of the future. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name is Awatif Al-Shummiri. I'm an engineer, and the concept of business, smart notebook, customized fingerprint, also 4 types of charge, wireless charge, iPhone charge, also Samsung charge, and Type-C charge. Also there is a record to record lecture, your voice, whatever you want. Also there is a Bluetooth. You can connect your mobile and listen to music, Quran, whatever, up to you. There is a place for paper, pen, and your mobile, also iPad. There is a stand for mobile and iPad. All of that in one file. It's a smart notebook. There is a more size, Also, there is a flash memory, 16 gigabyte. I'm here today to help all of the students and to develop my skills to be entrepreneurial.
Hello, this is Nada Al-Shalati, a second-year business management student. It's a great opportunity our university is giving us, especially since we are in the business management field. We're always thrilled to host such events and organize it to promote and support our small businesses and our environment. And it's such a great opportunity too that our university is giving us the opportunity to organize these events ourselves, the students. And as I said before, it helps us as business management students to learn what's the strategies and so on. It's really great opportunity to be organizing and hosting these kind of events in our university. Thank you.
And we are back, dear viewers, to welcome our guest. She has a PhD in Human Resources Development. With us, we'd like to welcome Dr. Ari Zuhara. We're really happy to have you here.
Thank you, Hiba. I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So, of course, at the beginning, we want to know more about your journey, starting with choosing this career and especially, let's say, to know more about it.
So I am currently the head of the business school at the university, at one of the private universities here in Kuwait. And I have, I've always been interested in development of people. I always want to contribute, I always want to build, and I always want to help. So when time came to choose a career, I didn't think of anything else other than helping other people grow, and where better to do it than a university setting. So that's the reason for my journey.
That's really amazing to hear about that, and especially dealing with students. And as you just highlighted, being an HOD in such positions, especially dealing with not only students but also lots of lecturers with you in that position. Tell us about that, having that challenges, especially dealing with the students themselves and the lecturers themselves.
It's actually a very rewarding position because you get to practice different skill sets that you have, and it also helps you to continuously learn. So it puts me in a really great vantage point, whereas I see the point of the students and I see the point of the lecturers and the organization, and it gives me a bird's eye view of how things are happening, where are the gaps if there are, and how to fill them. So I actually find it very rewarding because not only I continuously have connection with different parts of the organization, but I also get to be part of the solution and help different parts. So I like the role that I play.
Yes. So dealing with women, and especially when it comes into business school, we've seen so many, let's say, specialties when it comes into that matter. Lots of students don't know which kind of business, let's say, field they want to choose. Where do they fit in? How can you, let's say, help students clarify their mind, especially in choosing their own path in college itself?
When we sit with students, we actually do talk about the the real career pathways for the majors they're choosing. For example, we tell them, what are the jobs available? And we also ask them, we're not just telling them, we ask them, what is it that they have in mind? Because sometimes they haven't even entertained the thought of what do I want to do, or where does my passion lie? And we help best to help them navigate to match their passion with the area of study so they can actually cultivate their passion and, turn it either into a business or turn it into, their major or the place they want to work with. So we do place students in internship positions in the area that they're interested to work with. We do have internship with LOIAC, we do have internship with other organizations, and these students actually, for a credit hour, they have to complete 120 hours of the specific work so that they do get a real life experience about what is it that they want to do in the future or the field that they're going to be working at.
Yes. So also when it comes into encouraging students to feel more, let's say, into the business field, trying to, let's say, explore that. Tell us about what kind of, let's say, ideas or things that you actually do in college to highlight that and encourage them more into choosing their business path.
We actually have a lot of activities. Every one of our courses has a comprehensive hands-on project. For these projects, we link students with the industry. They actually, for example, we just had for our marketing class, students, went to OG,
Yes.
The ice cream, and they were doing marketing campaigns for them, for which they came up with amazing ideas. For the international business class, we had ambassadors from 7 countries come and exhibit based on the cultural criteria that the students put this on. So for different classes, we have a project management that the students actually have to come up with their own business idea from the inception all the way through launch. Think about the budget, think about target audience. So we help students conceptualize what we teach them. So it's not just theory. We're actually putting theory into practice by involving them with people outside of the organization, and also to give them a glimpse of what real life work looks like.
Mm-hmm. So we know that business is really challenging, especially when we're dealing with it as a career itself. We want to encourage students more to know more about it, especially the ones that are watching us today, women who wants to really get into the field itself, but they feel it is really challenging because everyone is really scared of new things. So tell us more about that, how to encourage them more to know more about the faculty itself, know more about, let's say, the specialization that is presented within business itself.
Other than just the regular orientation, we do provide soft skill training for students within our curriculum. We actually do, a lot of people refrain from going into business because they're afraid of presenting or speaking in public or, working in groups. We have thought about this, and to overcome those challenges, we actually specifically train our students for this. We have a specific class for students to learn how to publicly speak, how to debate, how to negotiate, how to share their points, how to work with other people and resolve their conflicts. So these are all factors that we actually put them in the curriculum. And within our advising and the student activities, this is very much reinforced. We make sure that our students know that we're there to support. Different faculty members are like their advisors, are their mentors. They're always open to come to even the faculty members that don't teach them. We have a small college, so students are exposed to many of the faculty. They've had classes with them, and they know where to turn to for support. And the faculty are, we're very blessed that our faculty are very open to help the students. So if the students go to them, we just had a student placed, for example, in the American Embassy as an intern, and different faculty members made sure that they coach the student, help them with interview questions, help them with their application process, and so on. So these are, different ways that we utilize to encourage the students to, overcome the challenge of not knowing or being scared.
Yes, so talking about that college environment and how amazing it is, especially when we have that bonding connection between the teacher and the student. Tell us about how important is growing that bond, and to let students know that even every teacher in college is actually there for them, to help them, to guide them, especially as you just highlighted with even the career itself.
We have emphasized that. I think that is our differentiation point at our college, because we have emphasized that not only between faculty and students, but faculty to faculty, staff. We have a culture of working in unison. We have a culture that everyone works for the same goals under the same umbrella. And we have been very successful, thank God, with that, because the students know this just by interacting with the faculty, that the faculty are there. If one faculty member, for example, has an event, all the other faculty members, even from different departments, are there to support. Not only they come, but they bring their students to support their colleagues. So the collegiality, the very close connection, and the culture of support and collaboration is very pronounced. As you see, culture is learned, and students see that. When students see how the faculty interact with one another, when the students see how the administration and faculty and the senior management of the college deal with both the students and faculty, it becomes very well known that we are here to support. And I know that students know that because not only we say it to them, but we actually support it with actions.
Yes, and that's the most important thing, feeling that environment and so providing it to the faculty and to the student is something very important. We have lots of students who have lots of ideas, always want to present their ideas, present their thoughts, especially when it comes into presenting some kind of activities. Do you actually accept that in your university
Absolutely.
and in college?
Absolutely. We do accept students coming up with ideas. We do always take, even for student activities, we always take their ideas. We actually ask students, what is it that you want? Okay, because this is their vantage point. They have a different way of thinking about things. So we always involve them in our events. We involve them in the activities that we select for students, both inside the class and outside of the class. For the overall college environment, because this is what they want, and they honestly do an amazing job.
Yes, that's really great. Dealing with students themselves, especially when they are, let's say, seniors versus when they are, let's say, for the first time entering college, we've seen so many, let's say, differences in their personality, especially in the way they actually attend classes and how they, let's say, sometimes terrified or, let's say, really careless about attending classes towards the end when they want to graduate, and how committed they are. Tell us about that experience and how do you see and evaluate, let's say, students in that
Well, it's a learning curve, right? And I think we've all experienced that. It will be a very sad thing if you're exactly the same way you are when you're
Indeed.
exiting the college as when you entered it. It's through exposure, further education, obviously, exposure to other students, exposure to different ways of doing things, different ways of thinking, and also building their confidence.
Yes.
I think one of the primary differentiators between when they enter and when they're exiting the college is that they understand their capabilities, they understand their strength, and they learn how to manage that and how to utilize it for their success. So I think that is the biggest leap that they make between the time they enter and the time they're leaving the university.
Yes. So also when it comes into the qualities that students do think about a business graduate, that they always have to, let's say, interact with people, have to have projects, tomorrow's meeting, leadership, so on. Tell us about that point. Is it really true? It is, let's say, for a business student in a business career, are these qualities actually connected within each career, or it depends on, let's say, each one and where they're actually working in a current position?
It is very true that all interpersonal skills are vital for success in any type of business, not just for business school, but all schools. You would need to be able to, show up on time, lead a team, resolve a conflict, have a fruitful discussion, come to a resolution. So these are skills that you need to have in order to succeed in any field. And it is very vital for a curriculum or for a college such as ours to undertake this. And this is why we place such importance on, cultivating these skills, the employability skills, the skills for self-management, for emotional intelligence, for allowing students to actually work with one another successfully, to actually have a discussion about resolving a difference. As you know, in a business world or in any career, you will have times that you don't agree or see eye to eye with a colleague.
Yes.
So we have to teach students how to hear the other side and how to come to a resolution, how to compromise. We cannot have it our way all the time. It would be great, but we can't. So we have to make sure that they learn this. And this is something that we really emphasize because they have to have it for any career that they choose to have. These are the skills that are vital for success.
Yes, and the most important thing you just highlighted is just always try to listen to the other side, because this is very important, because not everything that you want could actually happen, as you just said, because that is the most important thing, is try to listen to one another and to compromise it, because this is the most important thing, to find that balance indeed. So thank you very much for your time. It was really a pleasure having you here, talking more about college and students and your career. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And with that, dear viewers, that was our episode for today. Hopefully you enjoyed watching us and learned a lot out of it. So hopefully you will join us in upcoming episodes. Until that episode, see you soon.